Alrighty, man. Alrighty, so we are officially recording. Welcome,
Wait,
Jesse,
we're
man.
recording. My name is Jesse, and my partners in this are Isaac and Dave. Isaac Spearman and Dave Heisen.
Uh-huh. So you guys have been in partnership for how long now?
They've been together a lot longer than I've been part of it. They brought me on to do acquisitions, and then I just try and fill as many roles as I possibly can to make myself useful.
Gotcha. I know that I've been working with Isaac for a while. Then you guys they stopped, and then now you guys resumed. Since you were there, I want to hear about the deals that you guys have made. I know you guys started about last month. I think it's July, right? July 19th when the first lead came in.
Yep. So we were using you guys before, I think a little bit smaller scale. And then, we just had to go through, I think a lot of businesses get to a point where as you start to go through growth, you embrace the change, you know what I mean? And sometimes it takes people sitting down and being honest with themselves and kind of doing some restructuring to set
100%.
yourself up for the next step, you know what I mean? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, you know what I mean? And when that took place, we had to kind of take a few steps back so that we could really start to take some giant leaps forward.
Gotcha.
Once we got our office situation situated, the business got moved. Some people left, some people came on, that type of thing. Once that happened, we got a hold of Esteban and you because we definitely wanted to try and approach it with more of a digital first mindset. You know what I mean? We wanted to be exposed to the people in every platform possible in the way that they probably most commonly use and interact with their daily life, which
100%.
in my opinion is Facebook, online, Google, you know what I mean? Regular web traffic.
Yep, just to be present.
So we started using you guys about a month ago. Since then, I don't have the exact count, so I'm just going to kind of give you some roundabout figures, but I believe we've done right around 5 to 6 deals so far that we either have under contract or are currently buying. We do buy and hold some stuff, but we also wholesale a lot. We wholetail, we do a little bit of everything. Right now we're close. I've been able to close on the acquisition side, to be honest, right around 50% of the people that I'm able to get on the phone with.
Wow.
And the great thing about it is that, the systems are in place for really good communication from the second we get the lead through, the initial contact, sending out SMSs, just the entire follow-up. So even if we don't make contact on that first initial reach out, they, within about a minute of us getting the lead, they're getting our name, a text message, a phone call. They're getting some form of us reaching out, and then they're going to keep getting those. And once we can get a hold of the people, we're able to and I'm able to actually talk to them. It's been very lucrative for us so far. We've hit some serious home runs on it. Isaac, do you mind if I talk about figures that we've done on some of these deals? Do you care if I talk some figures real quick with you guys?
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So first one we got was a deal that we ended up buying because we had to do some minor improvements to the property. By minor improvements, I mean we had to put a $30,000 septic system in it. But we ended up getting the property for $67,000. We sold the property. We put a $30,000 septic in it, so we were all in for about $95,000, so to speak. We sold it for $150,000. The guy that we sold it to put $35,000 into it, ended up selling it for $250,000, and we have a good relationship with him. So it was a win-win for everybody all across the board. The next one that we did, I believe it was just a wholesale deal. And it was like a $38,000 assignment on that one. The other ones that we did, I just grabbed a property for, I'm trying to think how much I got it for. 65,000. Right now in its current condition, it's probably worth somewhere in the ballpark around 140. ARV on it's probably going to be around 250, 260. And it
Mm-hmm.
needs about a, $20,000-$30,000 renovation. So again, we're cracking some real home runs. I would say
Mm.
probably on average, we're somewhere around the $24,000 to $28,000 assignment fee on everything that we've got, collectively total from everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely been a huge boost to business, but also,
Oh yeah.
it's just another avenue. I mean, we always kind of look at it like, everything starts with the lead. The lead
Yep.
is the most important and the most fundamental process in any sales business. I don't care if you're selling vacuum cleaners, air purifiers, or trying to buy real estate. The lead
Uh-huh.
is where it all starts. So, what I love about this is that you guys are able to provide such good communication and such good back end support that we can focus on doing what we do. It's like
Yes, sir.
if people listen to the sales calls with Juan, the sales trainings on
Oh,
Wednesday,
yes. Yes,
uh,
sir.
the man in the myth, the legend, Juan Nicasio always says, what I mean? Maximize your genius. You know what I mean? Focus
Oof.
on what's your strength. My strength isn't, listen, I'll be honest with you. I suck with computers. I mean, I'm not horrible with them, but I'm not great. Isaac is. I'm just like some dumb, short, fat, bald guy that knows how to talk to people. You know what I mean? And can get some folks smiling and laughing. And when they're smiling and laughing, they're willing to listen to whatever I have to say. Because you can say to
I-
anything to anybody as long as you say it with a
100%.
smile. And even if it's just
100%.
on the phone, you know what I mean? That smile is transparent. That attitude is transparent.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
and I just
Yeah,
feel
man.
like your guys' leads are delivering at a high level to where we can be making contact with those folks, and we can all focus on our genius. So we can focus on what
Oh,
our strengths are and have a good partnership with people that are able to help us, capitalize on our own strengths.
gotcha. Man, you mentioned a couple of things there. You mentioned about, when a lead comes in, you guys follow up with it. If you guys are not able to follow up, the system follows up for you guys. And then
Sure.
you mentioned about the quality of the leads. How would you say how motivated the leads are that we are sending to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, um, I would say that's kind of like, you know, everyone's been different.
Yep.
The one has been the woman knew that she was 3 years delinquent on her property taxes. Property
Mm-hmm.
taxes where we live are due September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And once you hit 4 years, they take your property. They'll
Yep.
file to take your property, and it's a pretty quick process once they do that because you've
Mm-hmm.
had several years of notices. And she thought she was going to be able to come up with the money to pay some of her back taxes. She
Mm-hmm.
couldn't, and that's why I bought the property essentially for what she
Yeah.
owes in taxes. So, in that one, it was a pretty motivated seller because she was like, look, I just need to have this place sold by September 1st, so the county's taking it.
Hundreds.
Another one that we got, crazy good deal. Um, so I tried getting a hold of this guy. It was like one of the first leads we got from you guys. I think his last name was like Kostelak. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so we get the lead. I call the guy instantly, text him, trying to just get a hold of this guy any way possible. You know what I mean? I don't care if we have to send up smoke signals as long as we can get somebody to talk to me. So we tried calling this guy, texting this guy, emailing this guy, could never get a hold of him, right? And so in our CRM, we have it set to where every so often, like a lead that's in the cloud is just going to keep getting text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So after probably 12 to 15 calls on my end, another dozen or so text messages and an email, a random text message goes out at like 4 o'clock in the morning to this guy's cell phone that says, still wanted to talk to you about that property. Give me a call. And he responds randomly at 4 in the morning and says, I'm in the hospital. Call me when you can. So
Ooh.
I call him and I can't get a hold of him again. So I realize he's in the hospital. I call the
Mm-hmm.
hospital. Hey, I was hoping to talk to this patient. I said, I was hoping to talk to this patient. He's a dear friend of mine. Here's his name. They said, not a problem. Let me connect you to his room. So I get on the phone with him in his room. Here,
No ways.
he already had negotiated with another wholesaler because he was under so much meds. He was getting online, just filling out every type of PPC form he
Uh-huh.
could find. So he got sent to a lot of people. So he had already made a deal with another wholesaler, but the other wholesaler said, hey, listen, I'll give you, he basically was going to steal the property from him. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, whenever you get out of the hospital, we'll sign the agreement. Not a big deal. I get on the phone with the guy. I'm like, okay, so this other guy, what was the deal that he had with you? I look, I see the house. The guy already tried to sell it for sale by owner. So he has current photos on Zillow. So
Oh
I
wow.
already know what the house looks like and its worth, right? The house is
Mm-hmm.
worth 380,000 on Zillow, and all the comps in that, or 350,000 on Zillow, and all
Uh-huh.
the comps in the last 60 days in his neighborhood are 360 and above, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I get on the phone with this dude and I'm like, what'd the other guy tell you? He's like, well, listen, I'm going through this crazy divorce. We had a prenup, this, that, the third. He's like, I just want to be done with this property, but I have a lot of shit and I can't move it all. I said, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to have my guys come up. We'll move it to a storage unit for you. I'll pay for the storage unit for 2 months and I'll give you 210,000 bucks. He's like, all right, deal. And then we
What?
make him sign the contract while he was in the hospital, and we get a notary.
No
We have mobile
way.
notaries go and take care of it for us. So that way we now have the property. Nobody else can get it from us. And we close on it next week. And we're just
No
going to turn around and
way.
sell it. We're just going to turn around and put it on the market. It'll sell in an instant. The guy pulled it off. He tried listing it for sale by owner, had it for sale for like 24 hours and had like 150 saves, and then just took it off the market because he was so upset with his like divorce attorney and everything. So now he's
Wow.
willing to just give it away so that because he had a prenup agreement. Basically, it said if they sold the house for, if the house ever sold for $200,000 or less, the ex-wife got like 25,000 of it. So that's
Uh-huh.
why he's selling the house for 200,000, because he doesn't want her to get money because it was his house before they ever met.
Wow. Wow. Man,
So that was a
I'm
really
just
good deal for us. That'll be a
that's
6-figure deal for sure.
and you got okay, you guys are closing next month on
No,
this
we're
deal.
closing next week on that one.
Next week. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have to, on some of them, we have to act quick, you know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
we are in a pretty competitive area. There's
Yep. Mm-hmm.
probably 3 to 4 wholesale companies just in, we're not a large market, South
Uh-huh.
Central PA in general. And there's
Uh-huh.
probably 3 to 5 wholesalers, wholesale companies in this area
Uh-huh.
that are probably each doing between 10 to 12 deals a month, just in this local market. So it's competitive, and we're not gonna, I don't like it. And I know Dave and Isaac don't like to just risk losing money when all
Yeah.
it is like,
Yeah.
look, you know, don't get me wrong, on some of these deals, when they're wholesale deals and it's a straight wholesale deal, I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind doing a 30-day or 45, 60-day agreement because we know we can
Mm-hmm.
get that done easy. But sometimes, when the dollars make sense, you let them add up,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if we
Wow.
have to buy it and borrow on it and buy it, close it, resell it, however it is, we don't care. Just make sure it's hitting the bank account. Get the money to the source. That's what I was always told. Get
Man, I
paid and
love
get
it.
that shit in the bank.
I love it, man. So would you say, Jesse, that your guys' secret sauce is on the following up? Because that's I couldn't believe that you guys
The
called
secret
the
sauce. You're looking
hospital.
at the secret sauce, man. I am the secret sauce. No, I'm just joking with you. No, our secret sauce is, you know what I mean? Honestly, what it is I would say Isaac is a huge part of that, because
Mhm.
Isaac has understood this business, I would say, in the forefront, the forward thinking of it, maybe
Yeah.
because he's a little bit younger than Dave and
Mhm.
myself, maybe because he's more adept with technology, but also
Mhm.
because he's the type of guy that really dives in and learns something.
Mhm.
He's one of those like human sponges where it's like, all right, I want to learn how to do this. He's going to hole up in a room in a basement for like 12 hours and come out of it with the shit mastered. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
right from the get go, Isaac, and we've all agreed, but Isaac was the one that was really like, look, programs don't fail, people do. So if we focus on building strong programs for each department, step-by-step processes, to where lead comes in, we know bing, 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 what happens.
Mhm.
An offer is made, dun, dun, you know what I mean? So it's like I could literally be mid-sentence talking to a customer and
Mhm.
stop at the word agreement. Isaac takes the phone and says of sale and keeps going, because we know it's so, well rehearsed. It's so fluid at this point that it doesn't matter if I'm talking to somebody, he's talking to somebody. The other day, we were doing a deal where Dave was on the phone with the person, had been speaking to the person multiple times, had just a random incident happen in the office where he was needed. And out of the blue, Dave just said, "Hey, I just have to put my partner on the phone for 1 second." Before the person could even say, okay, I had the phone and was already talking, and the guy was laughing within like 30 seconds. And, within 20 minutes, we ended up getting the deal. And it was a really good deal. It was, again, another one of those, $50,000 type deals.
Wow, man.
So,
And like you mentioned about, when the lead comes in, this is what you guys are doing. But how's the follow-up process? Like when the lead comes in, what is the journey until the close?
Yeah. So the first thing when the lead comes in, the first thing that's happening is Cameron, who's our lead manager, is processing that lead instantly. So as soon as that lead comes in, he's pulling up the actual property address. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's pulling up the property address, any photos that he can find, anything, and he blasts that link straight over to me. So
Okay.
as I'm getting the lead, basically, I'm not inside my personal office, but I have a couple large computer screens.
Yeah.
So it's like on one side, I'm seeing my CRM. Beside that, I'm seeing our local MLS, like for a realtor type service. And then on my next screen, I have PropStream up. And then I have all the information that Cameron's already sent me about that he could find on the property. And this is within about 30 seconds of us getting the lead in. So as soon as we get that, our CRM dumps in the lead also from you guys pretty much instantly through Zapier. And then as soon as it hits the CRM, it's pulling it from the cloud. It gives me the first lead, the freshest lead.
Gotcha.
I click to call right within the CRM, and usually within, what did you say, Isaac, when you looked? I think last time Isaac looked, it was like 56 seconds on average from the time we got the lead until we were making that first contact.
Wow.
And then after that, if we don't, like, let's say they don't pick up, I do 3 calls back to back. So I don't leave any voicemails. I 3 call right away. And a lot of times, people sometimes are like, "Oh man, I'd get pissed off." I've had a few people get pissed off, but to be honest, a lot of times what I say is, "Hey, I was trying to leave you a voicemail, but the phone kept disconnecting." I didn't say, I never told them I was the one disconnecting it. I just said the phone was disconnecting. So it's like, hey, I couldn't leave a voicemail, the phone disconnected.
Yeah.
I hit the hang up button.
Shifted the blame. I love
and
that.
then after the third call, if I still don't get a hold of you, I leave a voicemail extremely generic. I'll be like, "Hey, Opti, what's up, man? It's Jesse. I didn't know if you had this number or not. Give me a call when you can." And then I just hang up. And then usually I'll give it about like 5 minutes, or actually I don't give it 5 minutes. It's set up in the CRM to where it's like once the lead has been in like the pipeline, you know what I mean, so to speak, in the cloud for with an hour. If it's a PPC or Facebook type lead, it automatically sends out a text that'll say like, "Hey, Opti, my name is," or it'll say like, "Hey, Opti, I was trying to talk to you about your property at 123 Main Street. I'd love to make you a cash offer for the place. Give me a call when you can." And that goes out at 1 hour. So even if I haven't spoken to them yet, they've gotten at least 3 calls, a voicemail with my name and phone number telling them to call me. And then at 1 hour mark, they're getting a text message from the CRM by itself. And then once I actually, let's say I get on the phone with the person and, we're actually talking, I'm finding out about the property, everything like that. I go through kind of my sales process with them, which, everybody has their own process, whatever works for a person. I would say, learn it and become as proficient as you possibly can with it. That's kind of my background, was always sales training and more of a direct sales atmosphere. And I always say, to me, what I always feel is a huge thing that helps people is confidence. But the truth is confidence comes from doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it is. The more you do something and the more proficient you get at it, the smoother and the easier it becomes. In my past career life, I had done public speaking in front of huge groups of people.
Wow.
I'd worked in, multiple countries and things like that, with
Mhm.
translators, and it was all because that was what I was doing at the time. But I learned from an early age that if I became really proficient at it, my young
Mhm.
age didn't matter, because, cream always rises to the top. You know what I mean? Talent always shines. So it
Uh,
didn't matter how old I was or how young I was at the time. It mattered, the fact that I was willing to put in the work and do what I needed to try and really capitalize it. So I tried to learn my sales process in this as best as I could, so that I have a very uh, standard process that I follow. As
I
soon as
love
I
it.
get a deal, I negotiate a deal with people. I do it kind of by the seat of my pants, to be honest with you, because we work mostly in our local market. We're not as much of a virtual person.
Uh-huh.
We do some
Uh-huh.
virtual, but
Uh-huh.
there's plenty. There's, and again, you have to do with whatever works for you. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
just look at
Yeah.
it like, why do we need to buy 600 miles away when we can get some crazy deals 6 minutes away? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And that
that's
can't work for everybody, but in our
yeah.
market, it can. You know what I mean? So that's what
I
we do.
understand. No,
Um,
I love it. I
but
love it, man.
once we get that deal done, then once, sometimes I go on appointments, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll
Mm-hmm.
just do a deal completely over the phone. And then, we'll send out to get photos and stuff like that. Sometimes I actually like to go out and meet the people. Uh,
Yeah.
it probably is my direct sales background. I just feel like sometimes when I'm belly to belly and face to face with people, I can really crack some heads as far as discounts. Like, like it's one thing to tell the guy on the phone, like, no, asshole, I'm not selling you this $100,000 house for 50 grand. It's
Yeah.
another thing to tell this face no when I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like I'm there, like I'm there doing me, you know what I mean? Because
Oh
it's like
man.
anything else in sales, man. When you make a friend with the person, you know what I mean? People don't
Yeah.
buy or sell things to people they hate. Nobody goes and buys a
Yeah.
car and
Yeah.
drives off the car lot saying, that guy was the biggest asshole. I can't believe I bought that car. They're always like, oh, thank you so much for selling me the car. They're
Yeah.
thanking the person for selling them an $80,000 car. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because they
You know.
enjoyed the process. They enjoyed what they were doing. So if I can make a person enjoy what I'm doing, I literally had a guy like 2 months ago tell me I had somebody offer me almost double what you're offering me, but you
Wow.
made me laugh and I'm really having a good time here. And it was like, all right, we literally on that deal we made $70,000. Like we bought
Wow,
it and
man.
wholesaled it within a half an hour and made 70 grand, all because of the guy just they had a blast. Like,
Yeah, man.
they
You,
didn't
you,
care.
you know what I love about you, Jesse, is that even though you have so much knowledge and experience in sales, but you also come to the sales trainings every Wednesday. You also participate, on the sales training. So, what would
Sure.
you say? How you say is how important going to the sales trainings is for people who are like, maybe I want or maybe I don't want to go to the sales trainings every Wednesday.
It's like this, right? I can't tell anybody what to do with their life. All I can speak on is personal experience. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
look at how I look at life, right?
Hmm.
Uh, every day, all around this world, people wake up early before work. I know myself, I go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. What do you go
Hmm.
for? You go there to exercise your body so that your blood flows properly, so that you can
Yeah.
breathe better, so that you can function better as a human, a son, a father, a brother, a dad, or a wife, a sister, a daughter, whatever your
Hmm.
role is in life. People try and do things to exercise their physical body on a
Yeah.
regular basis. And they do that because their physical health. But yet, the biggest muscle that a person has and the most functioning muscle a person has inside your body is your brain. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
what are you doing daily to exercise that brain, to take in new information? It's like they always say, when you're green, you're growing, but when you're ripe, you're rotten. You know what I mean? So, if you're
Ah.
not constantly trying to learn, how are you going to constantly earn? I mean, think of it like this. Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest people in the world, and he finds a way to take 4 hours out of his day to read and learn and gain knowledge and information. So to have a resource like Juan or the sales trainings available for people, you're a
Mhm.
fool if you don't take it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm a great salesperson or anything like that. I'm confident in my own abilities for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
I would go head to head with anybody you find when it comes to sales because I can talk that shit. But the truth is I can't tell you a very specific thing that I necessarily took from the sales training, but I
Yeah.
can tell you that like when I made that comment about Juan saying, focus and maximize your genius, that got plucked from the sales training. I
Hmm.
don't know what day it was. I can't tell you what conversation it was. I don't even remember if it was Juan and I interacting directly or something he just said to the group. But if I
Yeah.
wasn't there at that time, I wouldn't have heard it. And guess what? That same saying is on the top of my mirror in my master bedroom in my house.
No way.
It says maximize your genius because that's what I want to focus on. I have a huge painting in my bedroom that says it's like a light up sign and it says don't quit, but the D and the O are lit up and the I and the T are lit up. So when it's lit up,
Really?
it says do it. You know what I mean? If you've never heard of a guy named oh shit, Art, what was his name? Art Williams. You should totally look up a video from a guy named Art Williams, man. He started up a life insurance company. He founded a company a lot of people in America know called Primerica,
Hmm.
which is a multi-level marketing type deal. But the guy literally started as just himself and built a multi-billion-dollar company. But he gives
Hmm.
like a 45-minute keynote speech, and in there he talks about don't make excuses. Nobody's gonna like he talks about, oh, you can't buy a house, just do it. You can't sell your house, just do it. Your kids are being bad, who cares? You know what I mean? Your wife doesn't like something, just and everything he's saying is take out the excuses and put in the work. You know what I mean? And I just think that that's kind of our attitude towards businesses. Look,
Oh
we don't give a
man.
shit how we get it done. Just get it done. You know what I mean? Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, guess what? Bill collectors don't run off hopes and ambitions. We can't sit there and say, hey, we really want to buy our $1 million home. Isaac's right now, he's 28. He just bought a freaking $800,000 house. You know what I mean? He has
Woo.
a beach house. I mean, the guy has multiple properties as a 28-year-old. He's making over $1 million a year. But it's like you can't slow that train down all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like shit's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
keep
true.
going, and you're either gonna get on the train or we're gonna run the f over you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
deal with it. It's like
Yeah.
don't try and sit there and create reasons why you can't. Create reasons why you did. You know what I mean? Create
Yeah,
your
man.
reason why.
Man, that's awesome. Last question, man.
Yeah, man.
Um, let's say someone is on the fence on joining Hesel Media and becoming part of the family. What would you
Don't be an
say to them?
asshole. Don't be an asshole. I'm sorry. I get a little harsh when I react to some things sometimes. Listen, you got Isaac and I were just talking about this last night. You have to spend money to make money, right? It doesn't
Mm,
matter what business you're in. I don't care what business it is. Like I used to consult with furniture sales companies. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Those guys were spending 40, 50, $80,000 a week for their newspaper ads in major market newspapers. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
To run the full page like sofa sale this Saturday type shit. Those
Yeah.
that's huge money to get those commercials on TV, and they spend that money before they've sold a single sofa. But they
Wow.
do it because they know that they have to, because that's what drives revenue. And again, if you're being that silly to where you're not sure if you should join Hesel Media, one, I can say this, right? And I mean this with all sincerity. Uh, Esteban, your guys' whole team is very committed to customer service. There's never been one time where there's been an issue that isn't resolved instantly. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's great from that standpoint. Two, it's extremely beneficial, especially if you are a person like we are an established company. I mean, we did a lot of deals last year, a lot of deals the year before that.
Yeah.
So whether we used Hesel Media or not, to be honest with you, we're still doing a lot of business. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Hmm.
you guys are in addition to that. You know what I mean? So you guys are just one more great revenue stream that costs nothing. Literally, there's zero cost. And it's like, I mean, I don't know how to break it down to more ridiculous than this. But imagine if you're a new wholesaler, right? and you maybe can do 1/5 of the amount of work that I'm able to do daily, right? So maybe you're only willing to make, I don't know, 10 phone calls a week, right? Well, if you made 10 phone calls from Hesel Media leads last week and your name was Jesse, you would have spoken to 2 people, you would have gotten 2 deals, one of which we're going to make $60,000. The other one we're going to sell on market and easily make well over $130,000 on it, right? So let's say that that's all you did. You made 10 phone calls for the month and got just those 2 deals. You take out whatever the cost of Hesel Media is, and you're still sitting there looking at around $150,000 profit. So I would say to anybody that's debating whether or not they should join Hesel Media, how many months can you go not making $150,000? Because every month you're not signed up with Hesel Media, you're committed to at least losing out on those 2 deals. You're committed to at least not making that 150,000. So if you want to make $1 million this year, it's real simple. Get partnered up with people that have a vested interest in your success. We believe that Hesel Media has been able to deliver that for us. And because of that, we feel like we're going to continue to grow as a company. We want to continue to grow with Hesel Media. And we want to continue to foster and grow our relationship so that we can both achieve good things.
Man, I couldn't say it better myself.
Mic drop. No, I'm just kidding.
No, thank you for that. I know that we spoke. I spoke to Isaac about we wanted to have additional platform like introducing PPC or maybe having more knowledge about that. And I know you guys, you're gonna continue growing, and learning. We have a lot of our clients who are doing Facebook and PPC together that we can talk about it as we move forward. But man, I'm very happy with your guys' success. I'm very happy on what you guys are doing right now. You guys are on fire.
Thanks,
it is. Yeah, they say just keep the fire burning, man. So and you guys are doing the most. You're doing the most. So thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Isaac, man. Appreciate your time today. And yeah, definitely we'll catch up on more deals that are coming forward. So I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody else out there that's signing up, if they want to challenge me to I don't know, who can get the fattest deal or something, I'm down to crackhead 7 days a week. I'm down for any challenge. So let me know. Isaac knows where to find me. All right, man. Hey, listen, I got a boogie. Have a good one, Athi. It was good talking to you, man.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
All right.